Secrets and Lies were the name of the game on Grey's Anatomy. On the October 3 episode, Catherine Fox, Debbie Allen, was still hellbent on keeping the progression of her cancer from her family, most importantly, her husband Richard Webber, James Pickens Jr. But Meredith Grey, Ellen Pompeo, wouldn't allow Catherine to continue lying. As she called up Miranda Bailey, Chundra Wilson, for help despite the two being at odds. Read on to find out more about this week's episode of Grey's Anatomy. Miranda tried to fight to get her old job as residency director back, but Catherine Fox, Debbie Allen, wasn't ready to hear her out, telling her, "Call me assistant and make an appointment." On her way out the door, Bailey appeared to be in disbelief and noted, "I wore my heels for this." Meanwhile, Meredith Grey flew back to the hospital to treat Catherine in secret after she promised to keep the progression of her cancer. She insisted to Catherine that it was time to inform her husband Richard about her condition because he can't help you through this, but Catherine said she didn't want Richard putting his life on hold waiting for me to die. However, Catherine's condition was nearly uncovered when Amelia Shepherd, Katerina Scorsone, interrupts and Meredith tells her it's not a good time. Without realizing the identity of the patient, Amelia notes that the liver is covered in tumors on the scans, which could mean liver cancer. "So this is it," Catherine told Meredith. "This is how I die." Meredith realized she needed help and called upon Bailey, and despite her being let go, she stepped in to help. She explained, "I owe her my career even if I'm sidelined right now." Bailey didn't think Catherine's diagnosis was liver cancer and suggested they perform a biopsy of her tumors because they could be benign. When Catherine found out Meredith had betrayed her trust and told Bailey, she threatened to sue her again. She told Meredith and Bailey that she wanted the dignity of dying in private. Catherine questioned Bailey's suggestion that they do a biopsy, but Bailey insisted that it's what Catherine's husband Richard taught her and it is what he would want. Despite believing the chances of her tumors being benign were minuscule and she was unsure of how much fight her body had left, she finally agreed to move forward with the biopsy as long as it remained a secret. The pair then recruited Teddy Altman, Kim Raver, to help with the biopsy as she continued to fight to regain her role as chief. After being fired in the season 20 finale, Teddy was able to return to the hospital job as a cardiothoracic surgeon rather than chief. When Richard later asked how she was doing, she responded, "I'm fine baby," before the pair sang along to the radio and held hands. Blue makes peace with the past. Benson Blue Kwan's, Harry Shum Jr., ex-fiancée Molly Tran, Diane Doan, who lost her memory in a car accident, came to the hospital looking for answers, which annoyed him. Finally, he relented after she followed him around the hospital and recalled the night they met at a Halloween party. She later told him, "I can't leave her until I know our whole story." "Does it really matter what happened?" he asked before finally detailing how their relationship ended. Blue shared that he had cheated on Molly, calling it a stupid, drunk mistake that I have regretted every day since. He added that their argument over his infidelity led to the car accident, which caused to lose her memory. She was accepting of the past, saying, "Well, that was nobody's fault, I'm at peace with it. I got to start over." Molly later told him, "I see why I liked you," adding, "I don't have feelings about the memories that I lost, I wish I remembered you." Blue then kissed her despite her having moved with someone else. Schmidt learns a lesson. Levi Schmidt, Jake Borelli, tried professional detachment for a change after finding out that he didn't get the pediatrics fellowship. However, that was more difficult than it seemed when he started treating Cal, a patient with a genetic disorder that increases the likelihood of cancer. Schmidt argued with the new hospital chaplain James, Michael Thomas Grant, over discussing death with the young boy. James finally had enough and told Schmidt, "Screw your job. Be a person." Despite performing a successful surgery on the patient, they learned he had a brain tumor when he started convulsing in his hospital bed. Unfortunately, the diagnosis meant he only had weeks to months, at best, to live. Schmidt advised the patient that they could cram so much into the time he had left and encouraged him to make a list of things he wanted to do before he died. The emotional toll was too great on Schmidt, who told James, "I thought that if I walled off the pain, it wouldn't hurt, but I was wrong."